Alright, so I did refuse to draw a star on that scene in Shadow City. Well, this isn't a very lucky star, the one I'll probably draw. I did decline to draw a star some time ago. Just a couple episodes ago, so maybe I should do it now. This is a rather different context for this one, but... no longer a national symbol and more just a thing. But... if I may continue the subject from the last episode a little bit, there are some games I see people, there are lots of games I see people play through and whatnot that I have no intention of ever playing on here. Usually no one ever asks or anything either, so I tend not to bring it up in the first place so that no one's prompted to ask. But sometimes there are some games that I might otherwise want to, but it just doesn't quite work out. But there is one rule I tend to kind of have for playing games on here. I feel like I usually need to have something different to offer than what most people do. It's kind of how my approach to Off was, for instance. I mostly just Let's Played Off on here because I wanted to do that before playing Home, because it's kind of need context. And that's why I played Off in French, as strange as some people found that, in its original French. One, it's also just how I prefer the game, but two, because I wanted to do something different. And then the other playthroughs. Also, there's a star. I know it doesn't have a tail or anything, but I just kind of wanted to be more overt about being the reference. There it is. But yes, so I prefer to give very strong preference to what I think are underappreciated games. Well, a few things. One, if I feel like someone else has already done a playthrough that is better than anything I could have done, then I don't feel like there's much point. That's not to say that I think that my playthrough of any given game is the best one, but if I think it's like already unambiguously well-covered ground, then like that people have done good playthroughs of, then I won't usually play a thing unless I think I have something unique to contribute. There are some exceptions, like that's absolutely not the case with Ghost Trick as I'm playing it right now. I also didn't realize that some of the playthroughs of that game online already exist if I never looked. But oh well. Playing the game now. Oh, fine, I actually did draw this thing as made out of wood. At least this time that makes sense, you can grab onto it then. You can actually grab it from the side properly in this case too, that's nice, as opposed to the vertical, as opposed to the platforms that just move left and right, which you can grab from the side, but you'll do your grabbing from below animation, which is annoying. Yeah, so that's one reason I don't play some games. There's also the difficulty these days of not having access to a lot of games. I might have seen someone play a game who does not have access to it myself. Like, I actually... not a series I normally paid much attention to, but I did quite enjoy seeing a playthrough of Kirby and the Forgotten Land not too long ago. Is it a game I mind playing? I guess not, insofar as I like a lot of things about it, except for the fact that, well, one, plenty of people playing it already, and two, I don't have the system to play it on, so not really an option, even if I wanted to. Matter at Dead was special in that it was on a system I didn't have, and I still just made it work anyways. But that's not something I normally do. And that was like, it was just a game I had to play so much on here that I just made it work. Yeah, but I expected I could draw that whole thing instead of running it partway through. Yeah, that's 100% gonna work. This is gonna be rough, actually, if I have to, like, measure it out myself while trying to draw it this horribly. There we go. Ah, almost, but not quite. This will be authentically tough, actually. I do also have a pretty strong preference for games that are more definite insofar as like you can complete them. I do always have an end goal in mind, like a definite endpoint for a playthrough of a game whenever I do one. Even in games that are a little bit more sandboxy, like Via Pinata, for instance. The Via Pinata games I played had definite, like, end conditions for when I would stop playing the game. So I need to be able to come up with something like that. And it needs to not be ludicrous, of course. Like, yeah, Binding of Isaac has, like, a 100% condition. Would I do that? No. That's like hundreds of hours of your life sort of thing. Aside from how ludicrously difficult some things in that game are. I do not envy the person who wants to... I can attack things behind myself, that's nice. Who wants to get all of the boss kills with the Lost or whatever. This is funny, I like those. Yeah, I love it. I love it when they do this. This is my favorite thing in the game so far. Or, not so far, by far. It's great. I always love it when they do this physics stuff. They're actually good at coming up with stuff for it. And it's fun, aside from the frustration of, you know, like, the control conflicts and stuff like that. And just being hard to point at the screen reliably. One game that someone did explicitly ask me to play once, I don't remember what prompted them to ask me to. It was me playing something like Ribbit, which is a mod of Deltarune, which kind of occupies that indie space that this game also does. Someone did ask me at one point to think about trying One Shot. The issue with One Shot for me is just, I don't know if I mentioned this in a video before, but I've at least mentioned it in comments. I feel like it's a game you can only replay once, which it's not even I don't mean that as a reference to, like, the game's premise or name, whatever. I mean in the sense that, like, you have to play that game blind. You really do. Not in the same sense as, like, you have to play Outer Wilds blind. Also a game that I liked. Actually, no, I didn't. I was going to say I watched a particular person play it, but no, I actually didn't. I would have liked to, but they didn't actually make a series of it. But, that's interesting. Was there anything I missed on the right there? Normally this game, if there's anything... It doesn't really have one-way pass, so usually there's a door back if you pass what seems like something you can only do once. Well, I'll go back anyways. But yes, One Shot is... It's more just that there's a particular experience to One Shot. Not in the sense that, like, the gameplay depends on you not knowing the story or whatever, but in the sense that like what that game's trying to do with some of it's a very metafictional game, and I think if you already know everything that's going on, it loses most of that. I'd be very happy to show people that, but at the same time, still a decently recognized game, and I just don't think that I could really, it wouldn't feel right to me playing the game again when I already know everything. I've already seen all the very metafictional things, especially since I love metafictional stuff. I do like metafictional anything, generally, that a game does. So that's a game that I kind of turned down, even though I would not mind it. And it is also a case, though, where it's like, it's just, there are lots more people you could watch play that already anyways. It would be at least as entertaining as myself. There is a game that I recently finished that I kind of think the same thing on, but I'm not sure. This is the sort of thing where I think, well, yeah, it's kind of known already. At least by anyone who's going to care. But it's also the sort of thing where a lot of people are hoping it would pick up a bit more than it did. I'm among those people because I feel like it could have and should have, but I don't know. And in the end, if I ever find myself not having a thing to play, I'll just find something to play somehow. And that could involve breaking one of my usual rules or two of what I usually play. It gets harder and harder to decide sometimes. Even with me occasionally dipping into other content. Oh yeah, we're supposed to find these things. Rat. Oh no. I can't draw a rat right now, because you know what rat I have to draw, right? It's not going to take me 5 minutes, and I don't have more time. I'm going to have to cut the episode short, because I'm going to need to like prepare myself to draw the rat next time. You know what rat I'm talking about. Speaking of games that really... unusual games I really wanted to play on this channel. But yeah, we'll see. But as I was saying, just to finish up this thought before I go. Even as I start dipping into other types of content from time to time, like I did that SpongeBob Bottom Bottom Pacifist run. That was like actual like edited content. I do like leaning into that a little bit. And I do have a reverse engineering channel that I do stuff in alongside this without a regular upload schedule. I am working on a thing for that right now. And then the actual reverse engineering work that fuels that too, of course. Even if it's me doing those, I don't intend to slow down at all on the YouTube, or on the Let's Play stuff, at least at the moment. Because, as I've said a few times before, this is the only way that I play things at all. So it's nice to have something to play. It's just a thing that I've enjoyed doing for a long time. Even if it's just, I sit down, play a thing for an hour, and then put up some videos, and a person or two follows along and says stuff. I enjoy that a lot. It's a simple pleasure. Anyways, next time, I promise, rat, in exchange for how short this episode probably is. Next episode might be long, because I'm probably going to spend a long time drawing rat. You'll see. Bye, everyone. And we'll make a save state this time, don't you worry.